The roar of the crowd was a physical force, battering the magical wards of the dueling arena. On the sun-baked sand, I felt the vibrations thrumming up through the soles of my boots. They wanted a spectacle. Crackling bolts of arcane energy, shimmering shields, the devastating dance of high-tier spellcraft. They were about to be sorely disappointed. Across from me stood Kalen Vornaris, third son of the Archmage, a man who glittered with power. His robes, woven with silver thread, caught the light, and the focus crystal on his staff pulsed with a soft, azure glow. He was beautiful, powerful, and radiating an aura of pure contempt. "Must we really go through with this, Alara?" His amplified voice washed over the arena, smooth and cold as polished marble. "Surrender, it would be less undignified for you." I didn't answer, I just stretched my neck, muscles coiling. My morning was spent running the perimeter wall, lungs burning. Kalen likely spent his meditating in perfumed chambers. We were different, in this world that made us enemies. The proctor's bell chimed. Kalen's lips curled into a smirk as he began to weave his hands, the air crackling with the clean scent of ozone. He was summoning lightning, big, flashy, and designed to end this in one blast. I didn't give him the chance. My magic wasn't a storm, it was a void. I let a single thread of power unspool from my core, aimed not to be seen but to be felt. I cast my one combat spell, the one I had perfected through years of brutal focus, Ethel's Veil of Silence. Kalen's mouth opened and then nothing. The booming incantation died in his throat. His eyes widened, the light of his staff flickering as his connection to the spell was severed. Panic flashed across his perfect features as his lips moved, producing not even a whisper. That was my cue. I exploded into motion. Sand sprayed from my boots as I closed the distance in seconds. Kalen, recovering, thrust his staff forward, attempting a nonverbal spell. He was a maestro suddenly asked to fight in a bar brawl, clumsy, unpracticed. I ducked under the thrust, my hand gripping the polished wood, using his momentum to twist him off balance. My hip connected solidly with his, sending a jolt through both of us. My other fist struck the pressure point below his sternum. The breath left him in a silent, agonized rush. His staff clattered to the sand. Before he could recover, I hooked my leg behind his and shoved. Kalen Vornaris fell with a graceless thud. I was on him in an instant, my knee pinning his arm, the cold steel of my training dagger pressed to the frantic pulse in his throat. The heat of his skin radiated through the thin blade. Under me, his body was a coil of stunned muscle and fury. The arena was utterly silent. They'd come for a symphony and gotten a mugging. My spell faded. Kalen's breath returned in a ragged heave, his brilliant blue eyes burning with a humiliation so potent it was almost a taste in the air. "I yield," the dazed proctor announced. I stood, sheathing my dagger, and walked away without a word. As I reached the gate, my eyes scanned the upper balconies. I saw him, Reese, leaning against a shadowed pillar. His dark gaze was not on the arena, but on me. It was a look of unnerving intensity, of dangerous understanding. A chill traced its way down my spine. "And now for the announcement of the Ethelgard Gauntlet teams," the proctor declared. 3 champions will be bound to face the Labyrinth of Echoes. Our first for her ingenuity, Alara of Stonefall. A smattering of confused applause. I froze. Her second for his unparalleled command of elemental forces, Kalen Vornaris. A wave of nausea hit me. I turned to see Kalen getting to his feet, his face a mask of cold fury. Our gazes locked in a silent promise of retribution. "And their third," the proctor boomed, sealing my fate, selected for his mastery of shadow and subtlety, Reese of the Gloomwood. My head snapped back to the pillar. Reese pushed himself away from the stone, a slow, deliberate smile touching his lips. It was a smile that promised chaos. I was bound to the man I had just humiliated, and to the one man who seemed to see right through me.
Want to keep the flame ignited without having to wait for the next part? You can find the full, tantalizing tale on our main page. See the link in the description.